Yum, potato salad, onion tart and green beans for dinner tonight. Hannah is always surprised when her meal kit arrives, although she's been doing this for a few years now, since having her second baby and caring for her elderly mum took up most of her time. The service she's subscribed to learns from her preferences and optimises nutrition and calories while minimising the carbon footprint of the meal boxes. Nearly everything we do now is optimised. It used to be only supply chains and electricity grid, but now this extends to food and holiday planning. There's even services for reusable nappy laundry. You don't even need to remember to order any of this. Old school businesses like supermarkets are scrambling to keep up. Our biggest stores just announced another 12,000 redundancies as they move to automatic online deliveries. But they don't have the algorithms to keep up with these new platforms. Hannah hears another ping from her phone. She rushes to put Ben down in his high chair and checks the update. 12 jobs flash up, 30 seconds to bid. One catches her eye. Copy editing automated script for an advertising agency. 2 hours. She hesitates, not sure if she has time to fit it in before Ben's bath time, but it's too good to pass up, so she quickly bids. You have to be fast on the worker agency, since you're competing with others all over the world. Her 4.2 rating gives her a slight head start. It also earns her a small stream of extra C-coin to add to the monthly allowance, which she can trade on the market for some extra cash. Every product or service we buy now has an embedded carbon footprint. Everyone is given a set carbon allowance of C-coin, which they spend whenever they buy goods and services. Hannah's lucky enough to have moved to a small place outside the city, initially so she could be closer to her mum. They don't need much out there, so they can keep the carbon footprint low. They get much of what they need through the 50 microns of fibre optic cable that connects her to the virtual village hub, called Agora. Here she can work, shop, meet friends, and even travel. Meanwhile, others are still in denial, still living the high life, buying C-coins so they can maintain their old lifestyles. Fair enough, it's their choice how they want to spend their money. At least it means Hannah has got the cash to get by. Hannah works across several job agencies in Agora. Sometimes it's physical work that doesn't make sense to automate, but most often this kind of virtual empathy work comes up, adding a human touch to machine-generated content. This can all be done remotely via Agora. The gig economy used to be like the Wild West, but these days she has a lot more control over her data and rating than she ever used to, and the different agencies compete to provide the best benefits. Virtual doctor appointments, access to e-learning content, excellent car sharing schemes. You wouldn't have believed it 10 years ago when the gig economy was pretty exploitative. She's come to enjoy the flexibility and the control she has over her working hours. She hoped that moving out of the city might allow her to slow down, but the truth is, Agora never sleeps. It's hard to keep up with the pace of digital innovation. Yet somehow, the engineering breakthroughs we're all waiting for always seem just around the corner. Any day now. Nuclear fusion reactor pilots are more stable than ever, but they're still some way from being able to compete with the sun. Any day now, they tell us. We're still testing the efforts of the private geoengineering startups, spraying tiny synthetic diamond particles into the stratosphere to reflect the sun's rays. This is just a backup plan. Hopefully, there will be a breakthrough in direct CO2 air capture before we need to resort to this. But currently, the energy crops are having a huge impact on parts of the country. Hannah doesn't have to look far to see the impact. The huge field behind her house is all for crops to make biofuels. Row upon row upon row of maize and rapeseed. Having enough energy is important, but she wonders what this has done to other plants and animals. We're all just small players competing in the low carbon optimization game.